It's time for From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine with Trey, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around, trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Shortgrass is presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. By Beechwood Hospitality, we partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Shortgrass, here's your host, Trey.
Welcome to another edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey. UAMS Ortho Now is now open at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. If you have an orthopedic injury, sports, work, anything else, walk in and see the best in orthopedic care. No appointment is needed. Ortho Now open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. Conveniently located at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. For more information, call 501-686-TOSH. That's 501-686-8674. Coming up in this edition of From the Shortgrass, I sit down with Ronde Barber. I met him at the James Hardie Invitational in Boca Raton, Florida, back when I was there in late March. Ronde Barber, born in Roanoke, Virginia, attended college at the University of Virginia and was the 66th pick in the NFL draft in 1997. That was the third round. He was picked by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he would play his entire career in the NFL with the Buccaneers. A Super Bowl champion, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler. He finished with 1,251 tackles in his career, 28 sacks, 15 forced fumbles, 12 fumble recoveries, 47 interceptions, and 14 touchdowns. You put all that together, and that's a Hall of Fame career. Ronde Barber in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's coming up after the break. Stay with us.
The next time you travel to El Dorado and need overnight accommodations, the Haywood Hotel is where you need to stay. The Haywood El Dorado Tapestry Collection by Hilton is a great place to stay if you're in South Arkansas, listening to live music or playing the challenging Mystic Creek Golf Club. Take time and relax in their bar for a drink before going out on the town for dinner. The Haywood, 210 South Washington, right in the heart of downtown El Dorado. Search the Haywood El Dorado on the web or call 800-293-0718 for reservations. The Haywood, a Beechwood hospitality property.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stevens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey. Ronde Barber played his entire NFL career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There are a lot of good golf courses down in Tampa Bay, and Ronde has picked up the game of golf and loves it. You're going to find out a lot more about that here in a matter of minutes. He's involved with the game of golf, wants to get better, and has an interesting hole-in-one prize. If anybody in his group makes a hole-in-one, It's not going to be the beer tab at the bar of the clubhouse that is going to really see some damage. You'll have to stay tuned to hear more about what is in store if one of his buddies or even himself make a hole-in-one and what they have planned to celebrate that. On the tee, Ronde Barber.
Ronde, thanks for joining me on From the Short Grass. How did you get involved with a game of golf? I mean, a football player playing golf?
If you live in Florida, there's not much else you can do. If you don't fish, I don't play pickleball, I don't do any other stuff, I golf. Actually, when I got to Tampa, there was a ton of guys that play golf. A lot of the quarterbacks, Trent was there, he was a great golfer. But there was this guy named Anthony Parker who started at corner ahead of me, and he was older, he's in his maybe early 30s, and he played golf. We went every single Friday to go chip or putt or hit 9 holes or whatever. And after a year, I caught the bug. It was pretty easy.
So you didn't pick it up until you were a professional football player?
Basically. So I played once or twice at UVA at Birdwood Golf Course. And I don't know what I would call that because it wasn't golf. It was just slapping at the ball. I mean, I was like everybody around the late 90s, caught the phenomenon. Tiger was out and golf was cool all of a sudden. And a lot of guys wanted to pick it up. And I actually had a resident advisor my first year who was on the golf team. And this guy Chip, he took Tekin out a couple of times. We actually played golf the day we got drafted with him. So it was burgeoning back then, but then I got serious about it.
But then seeing Tiger Woods and golf becoming, I guess, cool, made it okay, let's go play.
I distinctly remember this growing up in Roanoke, and there wasn't a lot of golf courses, but I'd drive by a golf course, and there was a neighborhood, I think it was Hunting Hills. It was on a golf course, and it was like, that is a whole lot of wasted grass. It's pretty, I guess, but what do you even do out there? I just didn't understand it. I didn't watch it much, then it became exciting.
Did you play any sports besides football growing up?
Yeah, a bunch. I mean, I was played baseball, soccer when we were really little. Soccer was probably our first sport, like most kids. And then we started playing football, and then got to junior high, and we ran track. Me and my brother ran track. I was actually probably my favorite sport because I was really good at it. I was a hurdler, and I started hurdling when I was really young, like 13, 14 years old. And so by the time I got to high school, I was a state champion as a sophomore my first year in high school. I won national championship in 55-meter indoor national championships, and that was what I loved to do. But probably the sport that translated most into football was wrestling. Yeah, I wrestled in middle school and through 9th grade, and it was one of those sports that we have to grind, right? As football players, you learn to grind when you're a wrestler, and whether it's mentality or just physicality of it, and the fact that you feel like you always man versus man. It helped me a lot when I got competitive in high school and college and in the NFL with the way I played.
Obviously playing football, and then in Tampa, like you said, a lot of golf courses. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to do something outside, go play golf. Did it allow you a time, Ronde, to kind of clear your head of everything else that was going on when you're out there on the course?
Not only that, but just to, commiserate with friends or, meet new friends and just get away from what I was always doing, what the grind of the day-to-day life of being an NFL player. And for me, it was an escape, but it also provided something else that you could try to perfect. And at times I tried to be a perfectionist. When I was playing, I thought I was a perfectionist. Like, I was really technically sound player. It's one of the things that separated me. Is why I had such long success. And so golf is one of those sports where you're just, it's not coming as easy as football was.
You're always chasing perfection, aren't you?
Oh my goodness. Even when I feel like I'm playing great, it's like there's something else there, and but it's fun. I enjoy it. I put a little work into my game, but I play a lot. So it's how I spend my time. I just say this a lot. It's the greatest waste of time I've ever found.
What's the best part of your game?
Usually my driver. I hit it pretty straight. I probably hit it straight in my wedges sometime. When I'm competing, I become a really good putter because I get more focused or whatever. But I've always been a guy that believed, you always talk about short game. I was like, no, you have to keep the ball in play, man. Because when I first started playing, I hit this enormous slice, man. Like most golfers, I didn't understand the swing. And then, I don't know, 10 years in, my daughter started playing golf. So I started getting a coaching, and all of a sudden I understood what the golf swing's supposed to look like. And so that's when it became a lot more fun.
I was going to ask you, so how long were you just out there trying to learn the game on your own before you started getting a little instruction?
Yeah, so that's the one thing about athletes, especially highly successful athletes. They think they can do it by themselves. They can do it by themselves. When you're playing football, I mean, you get coaching or whatnot, but individually, you got to figure out yourself. And so that doesn't really translate to golf, especially if you're doing the wrong things, right? And so doing the wrong things over and over again makes you pretty good at being bad. And once you figure out the right way to do it, it comes pretty quick.
What do you like about the game?
That's a good question. About the game of golf, to be honest with you, because I play so recreationally, I belong to a club in Tampa where it's as much fun it is about golf. The people you get to meet and the environments you get to be in, and the courses, i.e. the courses you get to see, and finding a way to spend time with people you want to spend time with, and then yet still competing a little bit. And I think that's what I love most about it. I got a buddy, his name's Paul. And I'm a little bit better than him, but we only play a birdie game. So birdies pay, eagles pay, 1, 2.5, and if you get a hole in one, we got big trip planned. Those type. So it's that game. So whether you're playing good or bad, you always have something to play for, and I just love that part of the game.
So where's the hole in one trip planned to?
Oh, well, it's our wives know this. You get a hole in one. Think about this. How lucky are you to win, like, on the tables when you're gambling? So our trip is, if you get a hole in one, get on a plane, wrap around, go to Vegas, tell your wives they can come whenever. But you have to pay for the plane. Everybody else pays for the trip, and you gamble for 2 days. Because if you're that lucky to get a hole in one, then you're probably lucky at something else too.
Some people will say that's worse than just having to do the bar tab at the club.
Well, I think the bar tab is customary. You just hope there's not a lot of people there.
So has anybody made a hole in one in your group yet?
Not in our group. A lot of guys have come close, but we've yet to make the call.
How close?
Yeah, I hit the flag twice in a tournament. I've yet to make the call to my wife, like, you guess what?
But she knows.
She knows.
And
she'll be okay with it.
When you're out there playing, what do you like to focus on?
The process a little bit. I like to think about, before each shot, just the little things that I know that make my swing work. I focus on those before I swing, and then I just go. I'm a pretty fast player. I get up to the ball, have that one thought, and just go, and just deal with the result. I'm generally a resort-oriented person. Like, if I hit a bad shot and I still got a chance to make par, I don't worry about the bad shot. And to me, that helps my game. I don't hit a bad shot and all of a sudden start tinkering with my swing. Like, what position did I need to get in? Why did that ball go that way? It's like, no, just move on. So it to me, it feels like I'm always evaluating myself doing it that way, yet still trying to find a way to win. And that's where golf is for me.
Were you and your brother competitive growing up?
I won't say very. I think we liked seeing each other succeed. Like, if he had a great game, like, I was like, oh, I gotta have a great game. If he was a long jumper in high school, it's like, if he won long jump, I'm damn right I'm winning hurdles today. It was like one of those things. It was actually pretty cool because we always got to celebrate each other. So I remember, if I can fast forward this story, I remember when being in the NFL and getting ready to go play a game, like, say, a 4:00 game, and the Giants were playing earlier, I would spend almost all my warm-up watching Tiki's game. I just wanted to see how he did, and just live that experience. If he had a great run, it was like, just something I could be proud of and live, vicariously through. I mean, we share everything. We shared everything growing up for, we lived together in the same room really for 20 years. And then when we finally separate, that connection never really went away. And he still got a chance to root for each other because we did the same thing for so long.
It's amazing, too, the fact that where you guys came from to both make it big.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds were not in your guys' favor.
No, we were preemies. We were born small and, not thought to be big enough our entire Little League through high school, even through college years. Like, they're just not big enough. There was plenty of colleges that wanted to recruit us, but, saw how small we were, and they were like, these guys can't play. And then, 3 or 4 years later, Tiki's a Heisman candidate. I'm all ACC 3 years in a row, led the nation in interceptions 1 year. It was like, okay, maybe we were wrong on that size thing. But we have come a long way. Single parent. She did everything for us, not ever feeling the need that we were not we didn't have what everybody else had. We did. And she always provided, and it gave us a pretty nice runway to end up where we ended up.
Ending up in the Hall of Fame.
Pretty cool.
Probably was not on your radar growing up.
No.
But when you got that knock on the door or the call, what was that emotion like?
Yeah. So for me, I played 16 years, never missed a game, had a lot of accolades and accomplishments that pretty rare, that not a lot of people can take credit for, take claim to. And I started taking inventory on that when I was retired. And I was like, you know what? That resume has pretty good merit, man. And I think I waited for 6 years. You had those actually 11 years, really, because you retired. 5 years later, you become eligible. And I waited for 6 years to get in. And every year, the noise around my candidacy kept getting louder and louder, and people couldn't make a reason for it not to be a Hall of Fame career. And so I expected it. Like, I knew it was coming, and I was close for 2 years, finalist for 2 years. Then my third year as a finalist, I got in. So the knock was, I'm not going to say a relief, because that's not what it is. It was more like, hell yes. Like, I didn't need the validation because I already knew what I did, but it's pretty validating when you realize that you're one of now 382 people to ever be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame with some legends of the game, and it's nice to be thought of in that same conversation.
Playing in the James Hardie Invitational with some of the legends of the game of golf. What's that like for you, who obviously played a different sport on a professional level? Yeah,
but you know what? I respected these guys, especially now here at James Hardie with all these champions guys. I mean, these are my era of players. The VJs are out here. John Daly is a legend. I played with him today. Holy cow. Is he a legend in every single way?
We'll get to that in a second.
Bernard Longer, I remember when we were announcing this partnership, I was out here with him, out at Broken Sound with him, talking about this opportunity and how cool it is to have, the guys that were the best at what they did on the PGA Tour with the guys now that have gold jacks, the very best at what they did in professional football, and try to marry it together and, make it entertaining, right? And I think they've accomplished that.
So you played with John Daly in the Pro-Am. What was that like? It
was exactly what everybody says it is. He's great. He's a great guy, obviously. And John and I go way back because we're both in the Tampa Bay area. Obviously, I'm general chairman of the Valspar Championship, and Hooters is a big sponsor of ours. So Hooters is always, they're always around, and John's always around. So it's the first time I ever played with him, and I knew he was very laissez-faire and very easygoing, and he showed every bit of that. And we had a good time.
Did you ever talk to him in this round or before about the time that John Gruden caddied for him in a professional event?
I have not talked to John about that, but I have talked to Gru about that. And, it was rain delay, and, they're in the Hooters tent doing whatever they're doing, probably drinking beer. And it's just like, yeah, let's go. And he said it was the worst, however many holes he looped for him these ever did. He's like, this bag is heavy as hell. So who knows how many, who knows what in it. But he said he had a great time. So it's one of the legendary moments of the Valspar Championship. I don't even think it was a Valspar Championship at that point, but for our tournament, to have him do that. And John, to this now, especially since he's gotten back into the forefront, I guess, of what his life, Barstool, whatever, he talks about it all the time. So it's awesome to see that he still has, those fond memories of, doing that, but also being a fry cook at Hooters when he was a kid. Like, it's just, it came for full circle for it. I think it's just an awesome story.
Do you think he'll ever coach again?
I know he wants to. I know he would love to. It never left his blood. Man, I went a couple of months ago, I went over to his fired coaches of America facility, whatever he calls it, FFCA, whatever he calls it. And dude, it's like he's a coach still. He's got all the tape. He's got all this equipment set up. He watches it with, people come in and watch it with him, coaches, players. He's restarted that quarterback deal that he's doing. It's posted on Barstool now. And you can see he still has that love for the X's and O's and the execution that made him a Super Bowl champion coach, and one of the best characters to ever do it. He's so much fun to be around, and I think football really still lives in his blood.
Ronde, when you look at what some of the changes to the NFL in the game, the transformation that it is making, are you excited to see what this upcoming season is going to look like with some of the changes, or are you kind of taking a step back and say, hey, now wait, this is maybe a little bit too late?
I'm a step back and let's see if this works kind of guy. Obviously the league does a great job protecting the health and safety of players. That's their mantra, so to speak, now, and some of the rule changes they're making are for that. But I don't like over legislating our game. I mean, and mistakes are going to be made. There's some certainties that probably should be officiated outside of between the white lines. But the reality is, football is such a unique game. No matter what you change, it's still about lining up, collectively beating the men in front of you, and executing. And no matter what they change, that's what football is always going to be.
Best score you've ever shot on the golf course?
I've shot 70 twice, both of them at Innisbrook.
Yeah.
And one of them was on the Island course, one of them was on the Copperhead. And those were my few rounds under par. I'm always close. I'm like I shoot 72, 75. But I need to get like that little gear more to get.
So what's the handicap?
Right now I'm at 2.3 index.
Yeah.
So it's down there. I could be better. I need to work a little bit more.
Well, you talked earlier about, hitting the ball straight. And in Florida, you have to, because if you hit right or left, you're in water, basically.
Water, rough. I mean, Valspar, we oversee with Rye out there.
Yeah.
And in such a narrow golf course, it's just like, it's penal. And so, being straight off the tee, for me, and like I said earlier, it's the most paramount thing in my game. When that's off, everything else is going to be a little bit off and be scrambling a lot around the greens or whatnot. But, for the most part, it stays straight.
When Tiger Woods came along and made the game of golf cool, did you see a change in it, and then maybe a reintroduction of the game during COVID?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because when he first came on, it made it where other great athletes played golf, where they would otherwise have steered towards some other sport. I mean, there's other great sports out there, but you see the way that golfers have evolved over the years. Look at Oberg. I mean, come on, that guy's a golfer. Are you kidding me? But then you look back in time, and there's guys like that on the Champions Tour. So I think it was always there. But I think what he brought was the super athletic guys that had maybe skills that would translate to other sports, just settle on golf. And I think that's why this sport exploded in the early 2000s or whatnot. And then COVID, obviously, especially if you lived in one of the states that let you do what you want to do, that's all you did. For a year. The only way you could get out was to go play golf. And I know in our state, especially in our area of the state, over in Tampa, the golf population probably at least double. It was crazy.
Ronde, what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't playing the game of golf?
That's a good question, man. I don't know. It's such ingrained in my existence. Like, I can get up and play 3 or 4 days a week, assuming my wife lets me do it that much.
When you make a hole in one, she might not let you play anymore after that with the trip to Vegas.
Right, it costs too much. She's like, we're going to broke if you make
because if you make another one after that first one.
Right. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm still very involved in charity work and philanthropy in my community. That does take up a lot of my time, but I enjoy that, and being part of Copperhead Charities and Valspar helps me accomplish those goals as well. But what I would be doing, I have no idea.
Best golf course you've ever played?
Ever? Ooh, that is. Oh man. Well, I played Augusta. I mean, I won't say that's the best one.
Well, but that's pretty nice.
Was pretty cool.
What was that like?
It was pretty awesome. I had an friend of mine that played in the NFL that's a member. He took me, and my wife got to play. It was pretty freaking cool, man. That was an awesome trip. But best golf course I ever played. I don't know. I played some good ones. At Friar's Head up in Long Island. One was pretty. That one amazed me. There were some parts about that, some holes, especially towards the end of that golf course, that were just spectacular. So I played a lot of good ones. Old Memorial, where I play every day. It's probably still my favorite place on the planet.
Do you like to go play difficult courses?
I do. I like to be challenged. We went to Ireland probably 12, 13 years ago. And we played the European. You ever played there?
I have not played in Ireland. I've played in Scotland, but not in Ireland.
The European, it was like you had to hit it 250 yards just to get to the fairway, and the only miss was like this narrow strip down the middle of like this gorshy bushes. And it was so tough, man.
Wow.
But I don't mind the challenge. I love challenging golf courses.
Fantasy foursome, living or deceased, you and 3 others that you could play around with. Who would they be?
Everybody asks this. And I only have one question. My best friends is Brian, Paul, and Ben, and I play with them every day. And that would be my fan. If I had to wake up and choose 3 guys to play golf with, I would play with those dudes every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ronde, thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
From Central Arkansas to South Arkansas to Northeast Arkansas, across the state to Northwest Arkansas, you will find a Beechwood hospitality property. From the Haywood in El Dorado to the Hilton Garden in Jonesboro, to the Doubletree in Bentonville and the Staybridge Suites just south of Baumwalker Stadium, Beechwood Hospitality has a room for you. Beechwood Hospitality is the leader in hotel property management in the state. Make sure you find a Beechwood Hospitality hotel for your next overnight stay.
The future is not about a bond reaching maturity. The future is what my grandfather worked for. It's what my father carried on. It's my responsibility today. The future is my son's tomorrow. At the Stevens Private Client Group, we believe that our strength builds success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey Schapp. Thank you to all who listen week in and week out. Those of you who listen on 103.7 The Buzz or 106.7 Buzz 2. Also, those who listen on YouTube, Apple Podcast, anywhere you get your podcast. I appreciate you listening, and I love the feedback I get from you as well. The Open Championship, Royal Port Rush. The last time the Open was played at Royal Port Rush, Shane Lowry won on home soil. Will another Irishman win this year? That is yet to be determined. Next year it's at Royal Birkdale before the Open makes its return to the old course at St. Andrews in 2027. Looking to take a trip across the pond and play some links golf? I suggest you do. I've enjoyed my time traveling to Scotland and getting to play the game of golf. Looking forward to possibly taking a trip to Ireland as well soon and playing up there. Remember, follow us on YouTube. We are about to start putting videos out from the Shortgrass on video. You can listen to all the podcast episodes on there, but we're going to start doing something a little different. So make sure you're following From the Shortgrass YouTube channel. Before we go, I need to thank Matthew Allen and Blair Allen, Beechwood Hospitality. When you need an overnight place to stay, make sure you find one of their great properties. Book it, and you'll enjoy your stay. And if you don't, reach out to me, and I'll make sure that the next time you have a nice stay. Beechwood Hospitality, one of our great sponsors of From the Shortgrass. Remember, when you find your ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime soon from the Shortgrass.
You have been listening to From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network in association with Majestic Cubby Productions.